All right, guys, happy Sunday. I am going to let you know as far as we got on the 349. We did get it fired off, but we had an issue with the water pump. It was not turning on, so I felt where the motor was, and it was burning up. It looked like burnt my hands. I put my hand on it to see if I could feel if it was turning or not, and all it was just generating heat. So anyway, realized we had a bad water pump, didn't really go any further. Kind of got the timing set where it needs to be, but again, we didn't even get that far. But it did fire off, so that much is good. No leaks, so all of that is good, except for obviously, we got a replacement water pump on the way. Um, so that much is good. I'm going to also, I did modify the steering shaft, which I don't think you can really see. Let me see if I can grab a. If you can see down here, we do now have clearance all the way around the header. You can see right there where it was rubbing. So what I did was shorten the shaft right there. I shortened that up so the shaft could slide down further and kind of put the angle closer to where it's around the header and not rubbing up against, as you can see where it was rubbing right there. So took care of that. I did have to, when I switched to the single hook quadrant, this Maximum Motorsports cable is non-adjustable, so it had a lot of slack in it, so I had to make a spacer to take up the slack, and I took care of that this morning, so that much is done. One other thing I need to do, my cutoff switch in the back. Now that the wiring that came with it, I wired it as the cable, but I think it came as a wiring for like just a battery disconnect. So my alternator cable goes from here and it goes around to right here. This needs to come off of here and go all the way back to the switch. So I'm going to be doing that. I've got some extra 4-gauge wire here, and I've got the aluminum lugs, but I'm out of solder. So I ordered some solder, and I'm going to put a 150 amp breaker back on the main power wire in the back also. Here's the plug ready to go for the new water pump when that comes in. So that is the update. I got the bolts all cleaned up for the water pump. Obviously got our water to refill it. So anyway, it did fire off. I don't have a video of it because I didn't even get the timing set before we had issues with the water pump. But nonetheless, the 349 did fire, and we just had a failure of the water pump. So we will get that installed. Should just be a couple of days. I got that on order. Actually found a good deal on Holly's website. They had a Mr. Gasket branded electric water pump on sale for like 83 bucks. So we're going to give that one a shot. I mean, can't be any worse than the Pro Form that was on there. And that lasted a couple years. I mean, I think that's all you're going to get nowadays with everything made in China, and without spending like $400 or $500 on a Mazier. I'm willing to gamble 85 bucks and see if it works. All right, guys, that's the update for this Sunday. And we'll get the water pump squared away and hopefully get this thing tuned up a little better and be ready for the track. All right, thank you.